Alright, so it's finally time to install the new suspension springs. So, these are the old springs, and this is a new spring. We can see one of the main differences between the two is the new spring is half an inch longer. The other main difference is, while the old spring had round wire, the new spring has flat wire. And that gives it a much, that makes it much stiffer. Because there's more material within the same amount of space, basically. So because the old spring used round wire, that meant the piston could fit inside of it. And that was important because the piston had a cap on it that the spring would rest on, like that, right? But the cap was actually set down so the piston would stick out and would hold the spring in place a little bit. So it would I think it helps it wear more evenly. But the new spring doesn't have the space to fit on the piston at all. So I had to grind it down so it was flush with the cap. And I stuck this dowel in there. And the dowel is going to be held in place with the same pin that holds the cap on there. Like that. And there we go. So that's what's going to be pushing down onto the spring. So it's ready to go together. That was the one thing I had to do to accommodate these new springs. The other thing, this is really cool. So this is a grease seal. And what it does is as the piston goes on, it goes on the piston and it hugs it really tight. And as the piston slides in and out, this keeps the grease on this side and just kind of squeegees it off the piston so that so it doesn't escape and get out on this side. And I thought I was gonna have to replace these because they were so loose. You can tell it's not loose right now. It was loose enough where I could shake it and it would rattle on the piston. And I actually had started cutting out a new seal. But if you look at how it's constructed, if I refocus it, yeah. So if you look at how it's constructed, it's actually got this case here, which is metal. Inside of it, it's rubber. And then it's got this washer on the top, which is crimped on. And the crimped on washer presses into the rubber. And it causes the rubber to swell on the inside. So I was able to get a tighter fit just by hammering down on the crimp a little more. So it would squeeze more on the rubber, and the rubber would swell up a little more, and I was able to get a new tight seal on the piston. Look at that. So that saved me some time. That was really cool. I probably should replace these, but if I was really going for a new bike, but I'm not. So we'll just get the suspension put together again, and then we'll install it. So the process is put the grease seal on there. Then we put this on there with the one screw side pointing down. Then we take the bumper, stick that on the cap. We want this side up. Stick that on like that. Line it up good. Stick that in there. There we go, that was a lot easier. And then just gotta set that down just a little bit so it's not touching. There we go. And then go over it really quick in case I made a burr. And that should be good. There we go, there's the second one. Excellent. First thing, I'm going to put some grease in here. Yeah, let's just get it in there. I don't know how much we need, but there was quite a bit in there when I took it apart. So I'll put quite a bit in there, putting it back together. Oh, by the way, the grease when I took it out, it looked like it used to be red, but it was more of a rotted brown color, which isn't surprising at all. I don't expect grease to keep its color very well for 50 years. It's like it had gone rancid. Really weird. So there's some grease. There's that spring. There's that spring. Okay. And let's see, I think this is the right side. Let me double check. Here. Yeah. Yep. So these are right and left sided based on this flat spot on the top of the piston. Oh, and this is, ooh, look at that. All sorts of stuff going on there. Okay. That lined up there. Keep those lined up with the holes. Oh, no, it's got to be. Yeah, it's on there. Okay, perfect. Okay. There we go. That's good. Okay. We're looking good. We're looking good. So let's just work on getting these front screws in for now. Perfect. And this one. Be careful of that paint. Okay. Okay, so I've got to get this set all the way down. Perfect. Okay, so how this works is this, so the seal is actually just crimped on. So I'm going to take my hammer and ruin all the paint. There we go. That's one on. Okay, let's try to work on the second one. Very good. Okay. There we go. I think that's all it needs. It doesn't need very much because the crimp is just holding on the oil seal. So I think that's all it needs because the crimping is just holding on the seal. So yeah, look at that. Yeah, the seal's not going to pull out from that. So there we go. Let's get the wheel on and we can see how it feels. So let's see, yeah. Let's go ahead and let's put the bolting from this side. There we go. Got a glob of grease pushed out of the wheel there. And let's align the brake. This side we got this. This side we got this. It's a little snug right now. We don't need to, we're not riding it yet. And let's go ahead and flip this around. Nice. Nice. Very good. I like that a lot. Perfect. Alright, so check this out. Before I took it apart, when you get on the tote goat, your weight would bring the tote goat down far enough where this nut right here, which this bolt screws down through, would actually sink down and would actually be touching the wheel sometimes. And as you can see right here, that's not going to happen anytime soon. There's plenty of space. So yeah, that's really great. That suspension should be a lot better. So let's just compare. Here's the old spring. I can flex that pretty good with one hand. The new spring, it's a lot stiffer. So, and then plus having two springs instead of, you know, one spring and a broken spring makes a huge difference. So, yeah, it's starting to look like a tote goat again.